is Isaiah Stewart sagging here? Look at this. They're going to switch this ball screen, okay? Stop. Why is Isaiah Stewart sagging? Look at Cade Cunningham right here. Stop. Get up. Force him to the middle of the floor. There's no place for him to go. Cade Cunningham's man is out here, okay? You're up, and you force him to the middle. Now I can stunt and recover back out to, 6 steps beyond the three-point line. But instead you sag, so now you just give Kyle Kuzma an open jumper. Yeah, when you switch, you got to get underneath right here. Stop, switch. So on this switch right here, okay, you've got to, this is boom, and you're immediately underneath the screener because this is a big, so you got to be jamming for real estate early. Jam them for real estate early. But look how you don't switch over the top. So now look, now this Wizards player is going to have you sealed because right here you didn't get immediately on the screen, get underneath, and start battling for real estate. So now it's the Wizards player who's going to be the one to initiate contact, not you. And now look, now he's going to catch the ball way too low to dig in the post, too low to do anything, and now it's just going to lead to an easy 2. Okay, so they're definitely initially in drop coverage here, but Corey Joseph just decides to switch in the end. So if you're Corey Joseph, I mean, if you're in drop coverage, you got to get over the top as quickly as possible so this player can retreat back. But you can't switch this late like that, okay? I mean, if you're switching this ball screen, it's got to be boom. You're underneath, you're switching onto the ball handler now, as opposed to being in drop coverage, but then deciding, now I'm not in drop coverage, and I give up a layup. Okay, so how would I guard this screen? Well, I would, of course, hedge, okay? Push this guard out, all right? This backside defender's right here. This player here can occupy both Wizards 2 passes away. But I'm pushing this guard out towards half court, not giving him the lane. Not this drop coverage, but now I'm just going to switch, but it doesn't matter because the player dropping, just continuing to drop too low, and it's an easy 2. Horrible transition defense. I don't know what Jeremy Grant's doing. Rebounds happen. Stop. Why is Jeremy Grant lollygagging? Who cares who you're guarding? Just sprint back so he can keep numbers even. But look at Jeremy Grant. I mean, look at him. He's just going to go. So now look. Now this player's behind him. So instead of you being in front of this player, he's behind you. And so, of course, it leads to an easy 2. A goaltend. Stupid drop coverage. I don't know what this is the second time this has happened. Look, you're in drop coverage. This player's dropping. But then this player, instead of continuing to fight over the top, is just going to switch onto this big. So that just means you're just giving up an easy little runner in the lane. So, I mean, again, if you're switching this ball screen, it's obvious. You got it just immediately underneath, and you're immediately up guarding the ball handler, okay? But again, this like drop coverage then switch is terrible, okay? So right here, hedge this screen, okay? Push this guard out, backside defender slides in right here, and now you're good, okay? And now you're keeping the guard out of the lane. I have backside help on this roll, okay? And now everything's good, right? So why am I just giving up the lane? Look at this, just giving up the lane. It's just a pathetic ball screen defense. All right, lollygagging back in transition. This is pathetic, all right? Watch this Pistons player right here, okay? Why are you lollygagging back? It doesn't matter who you're guarding. Sprint back, okay? You're going to get cross-matched. It's transition defense. But you got to be right here because look what happens. This player's coming this way. You should be right here guarding this player so this player can stay home and this player can stay home. But instead, you lollygag back, so now this player's going to sprint and cut, draw help all over the place, and it leads to an open catch-and-shoot 3. So first of all, why are you denying right here? Stop. Just stay underneath and push for ground. Battle for real estate. Battle for real estate. Look at you start denying like this, so now my back isn't to the baseline, it's to the sideline. And now look, now you're susceptible there's too much separation here, okay? So now this ball screen is going to get set much lower than it needs to be. Now, I would never in a million years switch a guard onto this Wizards big. I would hedge this. I have backside help right here, okay? Or if he keeps rolling, I have backside help right here, okay? And then this player can sink down, and we can X out depending on where the ball gets passed to. But I'm never switching a guard onto this Wizards big. I'm hedging, and I have backside help, and then I'm potentially Xing out. But you switch, so this guard, this ball screen should have been set much higher, but this guard was denying for no reason. Now look, now this player is going to catch this ball Now you're just have switched a point guard onto a big, and you're just going to overpower for a 2-shot foul. All right, again, where are you getting beat? Look, you're guarding one-on-one. Don't let him go this way. If you're angling him this way and you get beat, there's nothing to worry about. You got a defender here, a defender here. There's no place for him to go. Okay? But you allow yourself to get beat away from the teeth of your defense. Okay? And now look. Now there's nobody to get into the gaps, and it's just going to lead to an easy layup. Bad transition defense. Let's watch Jeremy Grant. Okay? The Wizards come up with this rebound. If you're Jeremy Grant, you've got to just sprint wide. Okay? You cannot sprint towards the middle because that takes a longer time to get there. Just sprint wide so you make sure that you're ahead of this Wizards player. But look what Jeremy Grant does. See how he sprints back towards the middle of the floor? Okay? No. You want to, right here off this miss, just sprint back wide. Just get back. You want to make sure you're ahead of that Wizards player. That's your only goal, so that you can pick them up at the three-point line, okay, and force a one-on-one situation. Instead, you sprint back towards the middle of the floor like this, so now this player is behind you, and it leads to an easy layup. So right now, if you're Kelly Olynyk, you cannot be unattached from this player here. This ball screen here, they're switching, so there should be no backside help necessary. If you're Kelly Olynyk, you got to get up right here and jam this player, push him off his spot. Push him off a spot. You absolutely cannot sag off him like this, because what's that going to allow him? To just cut right to the middle of the floor as opposed to you jamming him off a spot. And look what happens. See how he cuts to the middle of the floor right there? And because you aren't knocking him off a spot, it's just an easy little jumper in the lane. It's an awful switch here, okay? First of all, it's an awful switch because you cannot be sagging this much when you switch. You've got to get, as soon as this screener sets the screen, you're up and ready to guard. This player's underneath. I have a player in the gap. But certainly I don't want to switch Marvin Bagley onto a point guard. So Marvin Bagley's got to come up and hedge, okay? Up right now. Look at this. I'm up and I'm hedging. All right, look at this. Where's this player going? The backside help is right here, okay, and we're good. But instead, you're switching a Marvin Bagley onto a point guard. So what do you think's going to happen? It's just going to be he's going to easily dust him, and it's 2. Body positioning away from the ball. Okay, let's take a look at this to stop. Why is this defender having his back to the sideline? Open up, okay, back to the baseline. You can even drop a half step. Because right now, when you stunt at this, okay, you don't have to move, but when you stunt, this dribble has to get picked up. So your back is to the baseline, you drop maybe a half step, and when this player comes this way, you're just jabbing without moving your feet anywhere and easily recovering back out. Here's the problem. Because you're positioned with your back to the sideline, now this player is going to have see how his dribble's still alive? So now that forces all those other defenders to have to react, and it leads to an and 1-3. So here's the problem right here, okay? So what's this player doing right now? You're not accomplishing anything by separating yourself from your man right here, okay? The gap defense is right here. We want to push him right here where there's gap defense. You need to be pushing him out for real estate, battling, pushing him out for real estate. Because look what happens, okay? See how you let this player just chill in the lane? So now look, now that leads to, now I guess, I don't know why Marvin Bagley's coming down to help. Okay, Marvin Bagley should still be staying out here, but Marvin Bagley feels the need to help because look how low you've let this Wizards player get. See, right here, stop. You're battling for real estate, pushing him out, okay? And then when then you're easily able to box him out. See, right now, you're right into his jersey using your butt. Now, he shouldn't be this low, right? Because if you were battling for real estate early, he's much further away from the rim. But you still have a chance to get into his jersey, box him out using your butt. But you never completely turn your body. So now look, now this player has instead of 100% 0% ball, it's a 50-50 ball, and now they're going to get an easy offensive rebound, and now the defense is just scrambling. Now all the box out on the second 3 are out of order, and the Wizards get another easy offensive rebound, and it's a putback for 2. Again, this is so easy. Look at this. Why are you letting him go this way? Angle your body so he has to go this way. There's literally no place for him to go. But instead, you allow yourself to get beat this way somehow, and it's just going to lead to an easy drive to the rim, and it ends up being a 2-shot foul. Or if you're Marvin Bagley here, why are you sagging? So you switch the screen up, up. Don't worry about getting beat. We have gap defenders right here and right here. See, look at this. Right now, up. Push him. Make him come this way. There's no place for him to go. Make him go that way. There's no place for him to go. Okay? So you have gap defenders everywhere. Why on earth are you sagging? You can get beat a little bit. Show your hands. Push him into the gap side defenders right here. Okay? Force him into the gap side defenders right there. But instead you sag, so now it's just an open jumper. This is why you don't guard beyond the three-point line. Look at this player right here. Why are you guarding beyond the three-point line? Get underneath the three-point line with your back to the baseline. So now you're in the gaps. You're not giving up a three. It's just that when this player comes this way, now you can stunt. His dribble's picked up. You can easily recover. You don't have to move your feet at all, so you're easily able to get back out. But this player is guarding beyond the three-point line senselessly, absolutely senselessly. So now look. Now this player is going to get through there with his dribble alive. Now he's going baseline. It causes the defense to collapse, and it leads to an open catch-and-shoot three. No communication in transition. Look what happens here, okay? Isaiah Stewart, everyone's back. Stop. So someone's got to communicate right here, okay? Where's the communication? Isaiah Stewart, you're getting back to a random spot on the floor, not to a body. That's a problem, okay? So right here, if I'm Isaiah Stewart, I'm saying I got ball. Okay, I got ball. You stay here. You stay here. As this player trails back, he should be trailing this way. Okay, and Isaiah Stewart can communicate that as well. You're kind of quarterbacking the defense in transition. But look what happens. Isaiah Stewart doesn't get back to the ball. He just gets back to a random spot on the floor. So now look, now there's nobody to take the ball. And what happens? It leads to draws help, and it's going to be an easy layup because there's no communication in transition, and Isaiah Stewart is getting back to a random spot on the floor, not to a body, which happens to be where the ball is. What is Cade Cunningham doing here? Okay, you're switching this ball screen, right? You're switching this ball screen right here. There's no backside help needed when you switch. Look at this. Boom, boom. Why is Cade Cunningham standing in absolute no man's land? What is that? Get up towards where your man is. You should be much further up. So when the ball gets swung, boom, you're ready to guard. But Cade Cunningham's all the way underneath here in backside help, I guess, on nothing. So now it's just going to be catch, rip and go, drive to the rim, and it's going to draw help, and then no one to help the helper, and it's a two-shot foul. Wow, is this bad defense away from the ball. Look at what happened. Why are you denying out here with your back to the sideline? No, you open up, you drop underneath the three-point line, your back is to the baseline. So that when this player comes this way, okay, you can stunt, get his dribble picked up early, and recover. But you're denying out here for no reason with your back to the sideline. So now look, now instead of you being right here with your back to the baseline, and you can just stunt, get the dribble picked up early, and recover, now look, now this player has a driving lane he shouldn't have, which draws help, and it leads to an easy Wizards layup. All right, so you're going to do what you cannot do here guarding ball screens. You cannot lean towards the screen. Stop. Look at this player here. Make him come off this ball screen so our ball screen defense can happen. Okay? Look what happens. You cheat the screen so violently, and now this player is just going to be able to refuse it, get right into the lane, and it's going to lead to an easy jumper. Here's stupid drop coverage. Watch what happens. Ball screen gets set right there. So look at this. You're in drop coverage. Now, yeah, I mean, you're just going to give up a wide open layup. A drop coverage is just, it is the worst ball screen defense I've ever seen, ever. Get up, okay? Push this guard out this way. Backside defenders right here. This player can sink down and occupy Wizards 2 passes away, and then we can X out depending on if and where the rotation of the ball goes. But you cannot be just giving up the lane like this, and on an empty side ball screen, this player's behind the play. So this is a 2-on-1 right here. 2 Wizards, 1 Piston, and it just leads to an easy layup at the rim. Pathetic. So Isaiah Stewart just got back to a random spot on the floor. Stop it right here. Look at Isaiah Stewart just standing in no man's land. In transition, you're not getting back to random spots on the floor. You're getting back to bodies. Okay? Well, This player's covered. This player's covered. The ball is covered. Okay, this player can check one of these two wizards, but you've got to come up and you should be not getting back towards a random spot on the floor. Okay, now this player is guarding the ball. You need to be up. Okay, and then you can communicate with this player. All right, do I take this player and you take this player, or I got this player, you come and take this player right here? Okay, but Isaiah Stewart's getting back to a random spot on the floor, not to a body. So now look, now it allows this player to just easily cut, get right to the rim, and it's an easy two. This is on Jeremy Grant. They're going to switch this ball screen. Look at, if you're Jeremy Grant, what is this separation? Right now, you've got to battle. Jam him for real estate. Push him out. Push him out. Instead, look what happens. You let this Wizards player get as low as he needs to be. Why? Right here. Jam him, push him out. Push him out now, okay? But look what ends up happening. You let him get as low as he wants to be. Now he's catching the ball inside the charge circle, and it's too late. It's going to lead to a two-shot foul. Again, if you're Isaiah Stewart on this switch, you got to know where your gap help is, and then that's got to be like right now. Cade Cunningham's got to be communicating him in the gap. Now this is too low. He can get up the line a lot more. Okay, but Isaiah Stewart's got to know, no, I'm not bringing this defender this way, player for the Wizards this way. I'm forcing him this way, right into where the gap help is. There's no place for him to go. Again, Cade Cunningham can get up the line more here, closer to his man. But if I force him this way, there's no place for him to go. If I let him go this way, there is a place for him to go. So without communication, you don't know where to send him, and it leads to an easy two. Horrible positioning away from the ball again. So you're going to switch this dribble handoff. Stop. What is this player doing? His back is to the sideline. Get your back to the baseline and move in a little bit. Okay? You can just move in just a little bit so that when this player, look at this, when this player comes this way, okay, stop. See how you're denying with your back to the sideline? No, you want to open up with your back to the baseline and you want to move in maybe a step. So right now you can just stunt, get this dribble picked up early, and recover. Okay? Now, really, where should he be sending his player to? He should really be angling his body and sending his player this way. Because look at this, there's no place to go. Player's right here in the gap. Okay? But this player could do a lot better job. Okay? Why is your back to the sideline? Get it to the baseline and move in a step. Okay? So now I can stunt. This player knows he's now not on an island guarding one-on-one. I can stunt without having to move my feet and easily recover. But instead, you just put this player on an island, and he's just going to draw a blocking foul, and it's two shots for the Wizards. Okay, so the Pistons are going to switch this flare screen, I guess. Okay, whatever. You switch the flare screen. Where's Isaiah Stewart going? Okay, if the post dig's coming, the post dig's coming from right here. Okay, but now look. Now they're going to hit you with another flare screen, okay? And you got to switch this one again because you're just in no man's land, okay? You should be up more, but you're not. So you're in no man's land. So now you got to understand, here comes a flare screen. I'm never going to get over the top early. So right now you got to be calling out switch, switch, switch. So this player's up here and this player's here. Again, Isaiah Stewart standing in no man's land makes absolutely no sense to me right here. The post dig would be coming from right here, okay? So Isaiah Stewart being here does nothing, all right? You're just in no man's land. But on this second flare, stop. Right now you got to be calling out switch. You know right now you can't get out to the three-point line. So it should be switch, calling out switch, and then you take the man setting the flare screen. But instead, there's no communication, so it leads to an open three. Switch this ball screen right here, okay? So now again, look at what we got. Corey Joseph's right in the gap. If you're Isaiah Stewart, okay, right now, okay, angle your body. Corey Joseph's got to be yelling out, "I'm in help, I'm in help, I'm in help." So Isaiah Stewart first doesn't sag, but then he's also angling his body, so he has to come this way, right into the gap help. And Corey Joseph's in perfect position, so now he doesn't have to move his feet. He can just stunt and easily recover, okay? But instead you let Kyle Kuzma go away from the gap help, and he's able to get right into the lane for two. This is starting to become a bad switch, Isaiah Stewart going on to Kyle Kuzma, okay? But you switch it. If you're Isaiah Stewart, you cannot sag. You've got to know where your gap help is. Here's your gap. Now this player can't have his back to the sideline. He's got to have his back to the baseline and opened up, okay? And he should be yelling, "I'm in help." So Isaiah Stewart can get up, close this airspace, because all you're doing by sagging is just giving Kyle Kuzma more room to operate without you resisting his drive at all. So get up, close off his airspace, and bring him this way. This player's back should be to the baseline, and there's no place for him to go. I can stunt and easily recover. But yet again, Isaiah Stewart is, one, going to sag, so he's letting Kyle Kuzma have a runway to get into his moves early. He's going to get beat away from the gap help, okay, on the wing. And now, let's see, look at this. Look at how this player's on the wing right here. If you backed it up here and you had actually been up and pushed him this way, look what would have happened. There would have been no place for him to go. Stunt, recover, okay, recover. But again, Isaiah Stewart is still sagging, not pressuring up on the ball, and he's going to send him away from the gap help. So now look, now he's able to get an easy drive and a turnaround for 2. So this is excellent gap defense. Look at this right here. This is what I'm talking about. See how this player's in the gaps right here? So now there's no place for this player to go. What is Cade Cunningham doing? Why is he not getting attached to his man, jamming him, battling for real estate? 1, because you don't want to let him post you up. But 2, you want to get a great, if there's a box out coming, you want to be in position. Look what happens. So you did a great job in the gaps. Get over here. Push this player out. Push this player out, okay? But instead, Cade Cunningham's just going to relax right here while his man stands in the charge circle, and here comes an errant jumper, but because Cade Cunningham never boxes out, he still has an opportunity. If shot goes up, get right into this player's jersey, move him out with your butt. You still have that opportunity, but he doesn't box him out, so it leads to an easy rebound and then a kick out for 3. This is a god-awful switch. Why? Okay, if you're switching this ball screen, okay, stop. So right now, you'd be calling out switch, okay? Isaiah Stewart's got to be calling out switch now. So right now, Isaiah Stewart is up guarding the ball handler. This player's down guarding the screener. But look at Isaiah Stewart. Watch this. Look how he's still going to be battling with the screener. He's still battling with the screener. Why? You're switching. So boom, right now, up, under. Well, it's a little bit earlier. Okay? Right now it's up, under. Okay? You should, if you're switching, you can't be battling with the screener still because you're giving up an open 3. I mean, that's unbelievable. Okay, so you switch this dribble handoff here. Why is Jeremy Grant? Look at this sagging. What are you doing? You have a gap defender right here. So get up, stop sagging and letting Kyle Kuzma get into his moves early. Okay, get up, push him this way. There's no place for him to go. There's a gap defender right there. But instead, look at this. Look at all this sagging. So now he's able to get right into the lane with you doing nothing, and it's an easy 2. Again, this is why sagging kills you. It allows this player, look at this sagging. So now I'm allowing this player to get into his moves freely without any resistance. Again, I have a gap defender lined up right here. Now, he should have his back totally to the baseline, and he's good, all right? So, again, back is partially to the sideline. No, your back should be to the baseline. You're seeing ball. You're seeing man. But the problem is this sagging. Look when you sag. You're letting this player just go wherever he wants. You're not even resisting his drive until he's in the middle of the paint. And that draws help here, okay? And it's just going to lead to a drop-off pass for a layup. So right here, again, look what needs to happen. Stop. Get up. Cut off this driving lane here. Now and you're forcing him this way. Now this player can get in the gap. He can stunt. He can recover. But when you sag like this, you don't force him anywhere. You just let him get in the lane, draw help, and it's 2. Jeremy Grant can't sag yet again. Look at this sagging. Okay, again, force him this way. I got defenders here, here. Okay, but don't sag. Because when you sag, you're just giving up a wide open mid-range jumper. So if you're Jeremy Grant, you can close off this airspace. Okay, close it off, force him this way. Okay, but I'm not sagging and giving up open jumpers or letting him get into his dribble drive moves early. I'm up and I'm pushing him to where I have defenders all over the place. Okay, but instead you sag for absolutely no reason. So here's a open mid-range jumper. This is what happens when you get back to random spots on the floor in transition instead of getting back to bodies. Watch Marvin Bagley here. Find a body. We're guarding right here. Okay, good here. We're going to be guarding here. So if you're Marvin Bagley, where are you going? This is a random spot on the floor. This is a body. Right now, find the body, okay? Communicate it, all right? So right now, stop right here. So now you're just waiting for this player to come across. You're in the gaps defensively, which is good. But when this player comes across, now you're ready to guard. Instead, Marvin Bagley is just going back to a total random spot on the floor, no man's land. So now he's not able to guard this player, and it's going to lead to an open catch-and-shoot three. I mean, again, this just isn't good enough guarding the post. So they're going to switch this dribble handoff. Stop. Right now, you got to be battling for real estate now. Push Kyle Kuzma out. Push Kyle Kuzma out. Look when you don't let that happen. Look how low you let Kyle Kuzma get, okay? You still have a chance. Push him out. Push him out. Push him out as far as possible. The further out he catches the ball, first of all, the easier it is to just defend in the post, but it's also easier able to dig in the post. So look at all this. Look at this. We're still not battling him out. Okay, stop right now. Up. Push him out. Push him out. Push him out. But again, you let Kyle Kuzma, again, push him out. Push him out. Push him out. But again, you let Kyle Kuzma initiate contact. So now look, now he's catching the ball way further down than he's supposed to be. Too low to dig in the post, and it leads to an easy two. Again, what is Marvin Bagley doing? One, look at this. This is getting back to a random spot on the floor. This isn't getting back to a body, okay? So right now, you got to be, why? Why are you here? Right now, you should be immediately finding a body to guard, okay? So right here, come up here. We're good here, we're good here, we're good here. Right now, this player takes the ball, you're up here. Okay, but again, you've just gotten back to a random spot on the floor in no man's land. So now look, now you're going to be late to get out. Okay, and now again, what can I do here? This player should be dropping. Okay, you're up, you're closing off this airspace. Okay, and now you force this player here, stunt, recover. But you put yourself in a really bad position to defend one-on-one because again, you're just getting back to a random spot on the floor. No. Find a body, okay? Right here. Come up, okay? Just take this player right here. That's all that needs to happen. Then everything's good, okay? But instead, you're just getting back to a random spot on the floor, makes it much more difficult for you to defend the ball, and it's an easy layup. Okay, so I don't really know what you're switching here. There is no ball screen, okay? So why is this player not coming up here and this player staying this way? If you are going to switch, you have to communicate it. You have to. And then once you hear switch, you have to switch. You cannot say, oh, there's no screen here, so I don't need to switch. No, you have to switch. So look, right here, this player's fine. This player's going to get up and be fine. Okay, there's no screen set. But if this player is calling out switch, then this player has to go here and he has to go here. There can be, it's bang, bang. Okay, so look what happens. We have a miscommunication because we have two people going towards the ball as opposed to this player staying out here, okay? And then it's just going to be a quick pass, rip and go drive because you're out of position, and an easy layup. So again, in transition, this is getting back to a random spot on the floor. Look at this play. What is this player doing? Okay, find a body. You're in no man's land. Get to it right here. This player's guarding right here, so you need to go over here. But look what happens. This player is just standing in no man's land, having gotten back to the middle of the random spot on the floor, so he's going to end up giving up an open catch-and-shoot three. Pathetic. Not backpedal when guarding the ball in transition, okay? So right now, stop it. Let's look at these two players, okay? These two players need to be, I don't care that your man's here and your man's here. You need to be sprinting back to the three-point line. Sprinting back to the three-point line. Because this player cannot be just back. Look at this player's just going to backpedal, 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 and leads to a two-shot foul. So right here, what needs to happen? Okay, this player will back it up. All right, so this player should be sprinting back. This player should be sprinting back. Okay, and this player should absolutely be right here. Okay, and this player should absolutely be right here. So now instead of backpedaling, I can come up and cut off the ball. If he goes this way, I have a gap defender. If he goes this way, I have a gap defender. But you don't cut off the ball. These players aren't sprinting to get back into the gaps. So now this player just ends up backpedaling his way, and now the Wizards are going to the line for two. This is a ball screen I would never switch. Okay, so we're going to look at multiple angles of this. First of all, I wouldn't switch this ball screen ever. This guard would be getting up to close off so he can't split the hedge, and this player's hedging. I am not switching Marvin Bagley onto a point guard. Okay, this player's rolling, okay, right into backside help. This player can sink down, occupy the two Wizards 2 passes away. Okay, so that's one. All right, so now Marvin Bagley, because see, look, Marvin Bagley has no chance against a point guard. Okay, but fine. Let's say you want to switch Marvin Bagley onto a point guard. I have no idea why. He can't sag. You got to get up. Okay, look at this. I got a gap defender right here. Push him, close off this airspace right here, okay, and push him to your gap help right here. There's no place for him to go. He's just going to stunt and recover. But instead, you sag off and you give up an open jumper. Just all the way around awful. Okay, so if you're Corey Joseph, you're guarding the ball. You can't take, you're guarding the ball. Again, I don't even know what Corey Joseph is anticipating. There's a stagger screen going on right here, but we're going to zoom in on Corey Joseph. Look at his face. Okay, let's back it up here. Okay, if you're guarding the ball, your focus is the ball, nothing else. Look at Corey Joseph's face right here. Okay, let's let it play out. Look at this. Stop. Look how he's looking away from. Look at this. Look at his eyes. He's not guarding the ball. Well, you're not even getting screened. It's a stagger screen that's going on right here. But again, look at Corey Joseph's eyes. He's not to guard. When you're guarding the ball, you are guarding the ball. Okay, it's not ball you man. Your man has the ball. So again, look at Corey Joseph. See again. Look at his eyes. His eyes again are looking away from the ball. So now look what happens. He's just going to get beat the other way. I mean, what on earth is that? Again, this is the problem of getting beat away from your gap help. Stop. If you're up right now and forcing him this way, there's absolutely no place to go, right? This player's just going to be easy able to stunt, get his dribble picked up early, and recover. The problem when you get beat this way, okay, look what happens, all right? Now look. Now that forces help at the rim, and now somebody has to help the helper's man, so there's nobody to guard the man in the corner for three. So they're just going to drop it off to the man whose man went to help. This player who's helping the helper still has to stay home, okay? And it's going to lead to an open catch-and-shoot three. Horrible switch. What is this? Look at what happened. Stop. So the ball screen's is coming. Right now you got to be calling out switch, switch, switch. So this player is up. This player is underneath. Look what happens here. We're going to have Jeremy Grant is going to go towards the screener. Why is Jeremy Grant even motioning at all towards the screener? Right now, okay, up, down. That's how you switch. But Jeremy Grant's motioning towards the screener just a little bit, and now that just leads to a wide open three. That is unbelievable. So there's a potential turnover here that you don't get. Again, this is like transition defense. You got to communicate. So everybody collapses on the ball. Okay, Washington clearly has the ball. So where's everybody going? You got to communicate. This player says, I got here. Someone's got to say, then I got right here. Isaiah Stewart can say it, or this person can say it, but you have to communicate it. But I can see there's no communication because look what happens. We get actually three people, amazingly, going to one Wizards player. And now nobody's here to guard this Wizards player. Again, where is the communication? You can't just, off this loose ball here that the Wizards come up with, you got to say, I got this guy. You stay home, and then this player can take this guy, and Isaiah Stewart can take right here. That's what happens when there's communication off of a loose ball that the Wizards get. Instead, you have three people going to one, so nobody's obviously guarding that player, and it's going to lead to an easy layup. A horrible switch. First of all, it's a horrible switch because look at this. Right now, if you're switching this ball screen, stop. Isaiah Stewart's got to be up. This player's down. But the second, because look what happens. Isaiah Stewart is still battling with this screener here, okay? So he's not actually switching up till it's too late, and he's just going to get blown by for a layup. The other reason it's a bad switch is because why do I want Isaiah Stewart? Why do I want a point guard guarding a big and Isaiah Stewart guarding a guard? Right here, just hedge. Look at this. There's no place this player's going. The backside help is literally right here. Okay? So it's just a terrible switch for multiple reasons, and it leads to a layup. Okay, this is horrible back-end rotation on this trap. So right now, again, so you're trapping the ball right here. You cannot let them pass out of it this easily. You've got to deny one pass away. This player's got to be up guarding both of these Wizards players 2 passes away. But look at how if you trap and you let them easily pass out of it like this, now you're screwed because now you're giving up numbers, okay? And now it's just going to be an easy swing. This player's wide open, and it's a dunk, all because you didn't deny one pass away off a trap.